Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over and doing a look with all three of the new Flawless Eye Filter palettes from Charlotte Tilbury. I've been waiting for these to come in. The first two came in really quickly, but I was waiting for the last one, which released after the first two. I believe it was Eyes of a Star. Let me double check that. Yes, it was the Eyes of a Star palette that I was waiting on. This one was released exclusively on Charlotte Tilbury's website after the other two, and I just wanted to do one video, put it all into one, so I waited for this one to come in. Now on top of that, I also have a giveaway because I was not expecting these to come in PR, but I got two of them. I got two in PR, and I decided that I would go ahead and purchase another of the Eyes of a Star. That one came in today, so I was like waiting. I was like, are they going to come in? I wanted to make sure I had all of them in my hands before I did this video as well. So I have a giveaway. If you're interested in the three palettes, just stay tuned. The three limited edition. Yes, I know. I don't know why she keeps making things limited. I'm still waiting for Fire Rose to come back. I'm like, please bring it back. And I'm already saying that about these. But the three that came in this limited edition launch are the Diva Lights palette, Star Aura, this is the one that I am currently wearing right now, and then of course, Eyes of a Star. Each of these Flawless Eye Filter luxury palettes retail for $53. And the description, she's so extra, and I gotta say, I love it. I'm getting more and more accustomed to like Pat McGrath and Charlotte's descriptions. I'm now finding them to be very entertaining, and I get really into it. It reads, "Darlings, get your glow on with my new," in all caps, "Hollywood Flawless Eye Filters." These magical limited edition eyeshadow palettes are like social media filters that play with the light to brighten, smooth, and illuminate the look of your eyes. And I gotta say, they do. I have created the most flattering, finely milled eyeshadows with soft, shimmering, light as air, metallic, and moderate matte textures to build intensity. It's the magic of the Hollywood lights and smoothing effect. Flattering social media filters bottled. For the swatches, the first palette that we have is Star Aura. It's an eyeshadow palette with shades of blush pink and metallic brown for wider, brighter looking eyes. Then we have Diva Lights. This one is with shades of champagne, rose, taupe, and black for a wider, brighter looking eyes. That's very strange. To me, the shade in this palette leans blue. I really thought it was blue, but she's describing it as black. Interesting. And then the last one, Eyes of a Star. This one is described as a palette with gold, amber, chocolate brown, and terracotta eyeshadows exclusively on charlottetilbury.com. I could continue to ramble for quite a while about these palettes, but I'm not going to. We're going to go ahead and jump into the three different eye looks. I'm going to do two first, and then we will get into the one that I am currently wearing. I'm going to start off with Diva Lights on my right eye. I'm going to use a Zoeva 227, and I'm going to start off with the shade right here. Placing this on my outer corner first. I forgot that I can't zoom in like I used to with the new camera and the lens. Like I have my my camera is as close to me as it possibly can be, unless I were to get like my lights and everything literally right up against my face. I mean, I could touch the camera right now, and that's very abnormal. Normally I would just go in and zoom in. Well, I can't with this lens, so it's a little different than normal with my eye tutorials, but hopefully you guys can still see. I would assume that you can still see because of the 4K, but you know. Anyway, this texture is beautiful. It's blending really beautifully. I am just slowly working it upward because it is quite pigmented. So just soft little circular motions. Obviously have it on the whole outer half of my lid, and then yeah, just working upward. I just wiped off the excess from my brush, and now I'm going to go right around the edges of all of that. And just so you guys know, I did not set my primer. I'm using the Mario by Mario palette, the primer palette that is, like the set and prep and set, something like that. I get it confused with the MAC version, their prep and set, their line. And then I did not set anything but underneath, right underneath my brow. BK Beauty 204. I'm going to run this right along my lower lash line. Sponge, I'm going to clean up the outer corner so I get the shape right before I continue. Refer number 2, I'm going to go in with this peachy shade. I'm going to pop this. Ooh. That is not what I was anticipating. I was thinking it was going to be softer. That is a beautiful color. Popping this all over the lid, blending over the edge of the last shade. Kind of pushing it up into the crease instead of just stopping right at the crease. Back in with the Zoeva 227, no additional product. I'm just kind of blending right around the edge. By Mario E4, first shade, highlighting the brow arch. I like to kind of buff it in to the other shade, like the very first shade that I laid down, just so it's a little bit more seamless. I'm also going to apply that to the inner corner. I'm using it wet this time. I love that you can use this type of formula wet or dry. I wanted a brush that was a little bit more precise, so I'm going in with a Refer number 23. And again, same shade, and I'm using it wet. And I'm going to drag it just a little bit on the lower lash line on the front. I can't actually see any fallout, but just in case. Wayne Goss number 19 and the deep blue. I'm going to use this to add more depth to the outer corner. And, you know, I'll probably take it up into the crease as well. Again, building this up just a little bit. And I'm going to smoke out the outer portion of the crease, dragging the excess a little further in. Again, Zoeva 227, no additional product, but I'm going right around the edges. Refer 23, same shade, I'm using it wet. I sprayed it after I put it in the pan. That's how I like to do it. You can do it however you like, but I like to get the product on my brush and then spray it. And with a brush this size, I really use very little, and I hold my brush a little further back than what I do if it was something like I was packing on my lid. I'm just taking this and adding a little bit of a liner right up against my lashes. This blue is so pretty wet. I feel like you can tell it's a little bit more blue whenever you do have it wet versus, you know, it blended. Granted, I did put it over top of that the very first shade, but still, it's so pretty. I'm going to take the excess from my brush, just go right up against the low. That went too dark. I don't want that. Okay, I'm going to fix that because I don't want it that dark. Or do I? I don't know now. At first, I didn't like it. Now, trying to get it just like a little bit closer in my lash line without being in my lash line, because I feel like I can see that, and I'm not going to put liner in there because I'm just going to wipe all this or wash all of this off. I think I'm just going to go in with a blending brush and just go right at the bottom. That is exactly what I'll do. This is a Wayne Goss number 20. It's clean, and I'm just going to run it right along the edge of that. Refer number 2, back in with the peach. I just want to add just a little bit more the front. Just to zhuzh this up just a little bit. Then I'm going to move on to the other eye. On this eye, I'm going to use Eyes of a Star. BK Beauty 203 and the shade right here. I am going to pack this all over my lid. Again, textures, they're so good. Like trying to play with them when they first came in, but I was trying to just touch the outside edge so that I didn't mess up the little print on it. And love the textures. They blend like a dream. Again, I love that you can use them wet or dry. And did I mention that they blend like a dream? Something's not looking right with my lower lash line. I don't know what it is, but something about it is bothering me. Putting the blue back in. Making it dark again. I think it was just like a little too diffused. It looked kind of like patchy, even though this isn't a patchy shade. It just looks kind of patchy. At least it did to me. Just kind of creating the shape with little small circular motions. And it's looking a little harsh right now, but I'm going to blend this out. I'm going to go around the edge with another shade. I wiped off my brush to get any excess pigment off. I'm going to blend around the edges slightly messily. Same shade, refer number 3. Just buffing this along the lower lash line. Refer 14 and this shade. I'm going to start buffing this kind of into the edge of the lash shade, and then I will lightly, I got too much pigment on my brush. Wiping that off, no, going around. I'm going to drag this along the lower lash line. Going in with a sponge. And then a clean 206 from BK Beauty, just to go around the edges to make sure they're really nice and diffused. I'm going to use that same brush to grab this shade, highlighting the brow arch. Again, kind of buffing it into the other colors. Back in with the Refer 14 and the darkest shade in the palette, I am going to deepen up the outer corner and the outer crease. Not picking up too much of this. I don't want it to be too intense. I want it to be a little softer than what I did over here. It's definitely still a smoky eye, but it is softer. You absolutely could add that highlight shade to the inner corner, and you could take the shade I'm using right now and use it for liner, but I'm going to leave it like this because again I just want it to be a little softer than the other look, and then the next look I do, I think I'm going to be even softer. Now I'm going in with the Star Aura palette to create this eye look. Sonia G Classic Crease, and I'm first going to go in with this shade. I'm going to go directly into the crease. I did not pick up much product. Just going back and forth, windshield wiper motions, and then circular motions to blend it upward. And I didn't pick up a lot because I know I'm going to be blending this pretty high up, and I'd rather build than go straight in with too much. So I'm using this as my transition shade. Going in again to build, and I want to start in the crease. So I don't want to go too high initially because then I'll have too much color. I can already tell you this one's my favorite palette. I was doing the look and just, yes. I love this color scheme. Sonia G Worker 2 Clean. I'm just going right around the edges. Taking that same shade on a Bristles Beauty EO5 PS, which is the pencil brush, and I'm going to take that right along the lower lash line. Sonia G Mini Booster, darkest shade in the palette. I'm first going to start working this on the outer corner. And then I'm going to bring it upward to smoke out the outer portion of the crease. As well as the inner corner. And again, I'm going to bring it slightly upward, kind of creating just a soft halo eye. Back in with the classic crease, no additional product. Blending. With these type of textures, I really do prefer to have everything really seamless, but of course you could get a more structured look if you wanted to. Back in with the Bristles Beauty pencil brush, I'm sticking with that dark shade. I am using this wet this time, and I'm going along the lower lash line. Second shade on a Refer 21, highlighting the brow arch with this. And I think I'm actually going to use this as my highlight today. I'm not completely certain, but I think I'm going to. And again, I'm kind of buffing it just slightly into the other shades. Same brush, first shade. This I am going to pop on the center of the lid. Kind of blend outward, going up to the crease. Back in with the Mini Booster, no additional product. Going right back over where I have the darker shade. Just kind of blend everything together. Bristles Beauty PO6 RF and the first shade once more. I'm going to pop this on the inner corner, and then I'm going to go add on inner rim liner and mascara. I finished off my eyes with Milk Boss liner on my top inner rim and then just mascara. That is all I did. And then for my lips, I went ahead and lined them with the SISLEY Nude liner, but I also went in with this. Charlotte sent over, or whoever, I'm like, oh, like, but Charlotte Tilbury personally packaged my PR package. That's what happened. That in my head, that's definitely what happened. But this came in with the package along with, I don't remember seeing them. I could have possibly, but I don't remember. These are Hyaluronic and Happiness Color Balm. So I haven't tried these yet. I believe she sent over the entire collection. Again, I'm not sure. I haven't even looked online, but I checked this out right here. This is the Pillow Talk Diamonds Glossy Star Lit Sparkling Lip Looks. I don't know, it's Lucky Diamonds. This right here I put on, I feel like I think I have this or something similar, but I think it's pretty. It's a pretty color, and it also has like a shimmer in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. You probably can't, but it has little sparkles all through it. But I like that this one has more opacity to it, and it looks really nice on the lips. Anywho, let's go ahead and talk about these beauties. That's what they are. Beautiful. These are so beautiful. They blend like a dream. I really don't have anything negative to say about it. The only thing I'm a little confused about is the blue. I would have sworn this was blue. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this, and I mean, I can kind of see where it would be a black. It just has a sheen to it, so it would make it look a little different. You know when you dye your hair that really deep black and has like a tint of blue? That's what I think that this is. So this is the Diva Lights palette, and this is, I was calling it a blue. I really thought it was blue. So yeah, to me in my head, it's a black blue. That's what I'm going to call it, a black blue. I love the texture of these. To me, I think I'm going a little bit more in this direction. I know I've talked about different palettes that have a sheen to them. Like I've raved and raved and raved about the Surratt palette that I love so much, and I love Surratt shadows. I love they just have a little bit more of a sheen to them. They're not matte, obviously. I mean, this definitely has a sheen, but it's not something that's going to add a lot of texture. I won't say that it's not going to emphasize any texture. If you saw during my tutorials, I have like this little, I thought that it was going to go away, but apparently it's underneath the skin. There's a little dot right here. It's not going away. So do I see that more whenever I have these shadows on versus mattes? Absolutely. Do I care? Absolutely not. I love the way that these look on the eyes. I love how easy they are to blend. I'm telling you, I can do a look with these type of shadows far faster than I can with the traditional mattes and then metallics over top, or even just an all matte look. These blend themselves. I mean, you don't have to put in a lot of work. This just does the work for you. Kind of like a social media filter. You don't have to do any work. So if you're going to ask me, these are an absolute hit. I don't have anything negative to say about these, and that is rare. I mean, did you see the fallout? It was almost non-existent. I'm telling you, if I was up against my mirror instead of being a little further away, I wouldn't have had any. So you're not going to make a mess with these. They're going to blend themselves. They're gorgeous. The colors are amazing. I just don't have anything negative to say. They're beautiful. They truly are beautiful. Now let's talk about my favorites. There's not one here that I'm not going to use, but my absolute favorite, I've already said it, it's the one that I have on my eyes. And when you look at it, it looks like the most boring one, but I appreciate this so much. I mean, it takes zero effort, and it's just gorgeous. I love the way this looks, and I did go in with just a little bit of this, and I did a very, very soft highlight. You guys know I'm just kind of feeling the softer look right now, and it's beautiful on the skin as well. So if you wanted to use these on the face, you absolutely can. I really wish that I had done that on camera, but I was getting into my videos. I was watching YouTube as I was finishing my face, and I forgot. My second favorite would be, I kind of went back and forth with this because I think that I will actually use the Eyes of a Star palette a little bit more, but this one is definitely more special. I really like this shade right here, this peachy color. It's like in between peach and orange. It's not, or copper. It's in between peach. It's like a peachy copper. That's what it is. It's so, so pretty. And I love the amount of depth that you can get with this palette. Having this blue black in here definitely gives you an option to create more looks instead of having a more monochromatic feel. This one definitely has more options just because of that added depth. Now, if you are a warm tone lover, I think that you would really, really love the Eyes of a Star palette. This one kind of reminds me of some things I've seen from Tom Ford. What are they called? The wet dry formula from Tom Ford. It's similar to that, but I think this is a little bit more sophisticated. I think this is a little bit more smooth. It just depends. Sometimes with Tom Ford, they can have a little bit of a shimmer in there, and some of these shades do, but it's a little bit more refined, I would say. But this one, it does. Something about it reminds me, and I can't pinpoint the palette that I'm thinking of in my head, but it does remind me of Tom Ford. And that is not a bad thing because you guys know how I feel about my Tom Ford palettes, especially the wet dry formula. So you guys know these are incredible in my opinion. So I don't know what else to say other than fabulous, 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 fabulous. Darlings, they are fabulous. Okay, I'm going over the top now. Let's get into the giveaway. You guys know, I'm not making you jump through any hoops here. All I want you to do is comment that you would like to win and give me a way to contact you. Of course, this is international. Everybody is included. I gotta put in there void where prohibited just so that I don't get in trouble. You don't get in trouble. Nobody gets in trouble. And a week from today, I will pick a winner at 12 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you're checking whatever method that you leave me, preferably Instagram or your email. I will get to you within 10 minutes. So between 12 o'clock and 12:10. You've got 24 hours to respond, so make sure you guys are checking. That's why I give you guys the time so you know exactly when to look. All right, beauties, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the tutorials. Let me know which one was your favorite. Let me know if you're interested in these, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.